Hey guys, how are ya? I just needed to take off my shoes because I have a giant itch on my foot. It's driving me nuts. You know when that happens and it's like there's no way to fix it unless you literally take your shoes off, and which is annoying if you ask me because then you gotta put them back on. And I'm lazy sometimes. How are you guys? I hope you're doing well. Let's see, when was the last time that we hung out? I think Thursday I did a dance class, I believe. I want to say that was correct. Um, so it's been a minute since I'm trying to remember what the last thing was. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to be related to this at all. But one thing that is kind of related is the fact that I've mentioned in several videos now this concept of drawing what you see rather than what you think is there. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to be focusing on really like working on training your eye to see the right thing, to be able to mimic what it is that you see, because we're not always going to be all realistic painters by any means. Some of us do abstract. We don't need this at all, but it's just another tool to have under your belt. And again, like I said in a previous video, you never know what is going to strike your fancy, you know? So maybe you think that you're an abstract painter and you learn this realism stuff and you just become obsessed with it. That's what happened to me. So that's literally how art happened for me. Okay, so what we're going to need today is, hold on one second. I'm going to need to get some tape really quick. So it's nothing to do with class. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh, what we're gonna need. I have here just a plain old marker. It can be any color. It can be a crayon, it can be a pencil. It doesn't need to be anything specific for this. We're just making marks and they're not any specific kinds of marks, so whatever you can write with is fine with me. I am gonna be using this cartoon, I guess. Obviously, I'm not expecting you guys to all have this printed out at home or anything like that, but if you just like literally go on Google and Google search image search, just like simple line drawing or something like that, you can use any of those. Or if you have like a coloring book at home or, you know, a regular book with pictures or anything like that, you can use that. So what we're going to be doing today is recreating this image. However, we're going to be doing it, challenging our eye, remember? So we're going to be doing it upside down. Why, you may ask? Why? Is because if I do this right side up, I look at this and I'm like, I know that that's a foot. So my eye is not going to be being challenged right now, and I'm probably just going to draw what I think a foot might look like. Does that make sense? And this happens a lot. I notice it especially in my other class where I'll be like trying to teach someone, you know, like, okay, you make this like C shape, and they do a C shape, but it's like this way. And I'm like, no, but you have to look where it starts and where it ends and that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I have with me 2 sheets of paper. On the first sheet of paper, again, this is a little puppy dog. I'm going to, without looking at that one, I'm going to draw, turn it upside down so I don't cheat. Draw what I think in my mind, what I think, not what I see, that a dog looks like, okay? So, to me, I would be like, okay, he's got like little puppy dog ears and a head. It's kind of cute already. His face. Maybe his nose is like there-ish. Mine's got really big puppy dog eyes. Look at my dad, actually. So cute. Whiskers. And then his body would be something like this. I have no idea. Okay. So that is why I choose to use photo references personally for my art, because that's not great, right? It's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, I bet there's some incorrections there, mistakes. So, okay, and we're going to refer back to this later on after I do the whole thing with you guys. So just set that aside for right now. Basically what we're going to do at the end is notice what differences there actually are. So turning my paper, the dog, upside down. And then I'm just turning it this way so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So let's see here. I'm going to start, I think, at his, like, here. So really, I'm kind of working sideways. So what do I notice? I'm going to start with, like, just all of these shapes. You can see there's a shape here, a shape here, etc., a shape here, you know, that kind of thing. So that's where I'm choosing to start. And I'm going to start with this thing right here. So what I notice right away is it's kind of an oval. It's a little bit thicker at the top than it is at the bottom. So I'm going to start right about there. It's close. I would make this a little bit longer, but pretty close. Okay. And again, when you're doing it from an upside down view, it kind of distorts what the image actually is, and that's why you're just following exactly the way that the shapes are moving. Okay, now this one goes behind it. It starts about, let's say, like this dot here is like, where would you say, maybe like a third of the way up from the foot, so like there to there, and it goes around it. This side is higher, so it's gonna go around, up higher, and then back down. Not bad. And then of course we have the tail, so it's gonna go like a upside down U shape, and then another one that's bigger that connects to the top. And again, checking in where those points meet, right? There's a point there, there's a point there, point there, point there. Trying to make those accurate on all of this. Okay, from here I have this line right here, so it's kind of curvy, mostly straight, but it would curve if it were longer, if that makes sense. And that's about like an inch maybe. So I'm just gonna make a somewhat curvy line. And there's another one right here. And if I look at this compared to this, they almost, like, if they were to keep going, they would almost intersect, right? So it's like making a triangle right there. So if I think about it like that, it would be kind of like that. Make sense? Or right here. So do you see how that works? Like, see how this was the line we just did? Well, this is the line we just did. This is the line we did right before it. And if I go like this, extend this one all the way down and extend this one all the way down, they kind of cross. So you can kind of think of it that way. From there, here's a curvy line, and look at what it lines up with. It starts with the top of this foot, so I'm going to go top of that foot. It's not too much further. This space, whatever I think looks kind of like that, is probably about right there. So, and then I'm going to draw this. It's like a straight line down, and then it starts to curve. Okay, so goes, what did I say here? Starts here, yeah. Goes down, and then starts to curve. And then it curves up. And then it curves the other way up. And then there is this little thing at the top. And again, I'm checking in on my lines. Where does the bottom of this one go? It's pretty much in line with the top of the foot too, so this can actually be pushed down a little bit. Just a little bit. And then of course it has this little curvy line this way. For the sake of like not getting it confusing, and like this is a curvy line going up, so we're gonna call it a U. This is a C. This is a upside down U, right? This is a backwards C. Does that make sense? For all of these little curvy lines. Okay. Then we have another straightish, curvyish line coming out right in between these toes, right? Right in the middle of that toe. So it's coming right there. So again, right in the middle of that toe would be like here. And then it's going to start to curve all the way up. So that's like making a C from the top. So it's like a C from the top. And then we have this curvy line. It would be a U-ish shape, but a really wide one. And it goes all the way up to be in line with the top of this. So if I space that out over here, it's going to go a curvy U shape all the way up to that line. Then I have another regular C shape. Right about there. And oh, I forgot the toes again. Toes there. And then you of course do have these little paw things. This is something you could definitely do at the end. I would mostly like get all this stuff blocked out first. But Okay, so looks like we're on to the top part. So this is going to be the head now. Okay, so again, here's this intersection point. So that would be like right here. So it's going to be a diagonal curvy line. If I'm starting from this point, it's a diagonal curvy line up. So it goes from here to here, but make it curvy. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little swoop. And let's do it on this side too, just so we really know where the face is. Actually, before we do that, let's check in with our like portions, I guess, proportions. See this X, this point that where this one stops, should be a little bit past the tail. You see that? So this needs to come out here for me. So my tail's out here. This curvy line needs to come way out here. So before I go any further, I'm just making that little correction. So let's just pretend that black line is not there. We're again using no eraser method, so just sit tight. We'll have the mistakes. That's a-okay. This is just for learning purposes, okay? We're going to do the other side, I said. So find again that intersection point, so the top of that line. Then I'm drawing kind of like a U shape. Again, just like opposite of this one. And if you look here, if you draw a line across, it's way higher than this line that we just made. So I would say it's like, oh, I'm going to run out of paper. I'm going to go like right there. Why did I start so high up? That was silly of me. So like right there. And it does go in a little bit, so I am just going to make that little line. And then we have, let's do the eyes now. Again, measuring about this space. And I'm not, sorry guys. I am not obviously using a ruler. You can like thumb it out if you need to, but I just eyeball it. So I'm like from there to there, this space to this space looks about there for me, to me. So this to here, and that's the outside of the eye. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mark a big old circle. Doesn't need to be perfect. Again, eyeballing it size-wise too, right? See, this one's pretty big, and this one's actually a lot smaller. So when I do that one, you don't want it to look too goofy, but like that. And then they have the circles inside. Big circle, medium circle, small circle. Same thing over here, big, medium, small. He was so cute already. Let's do the nose. So in between both of those eyes, right? It's like in between them. It's going to go kind of straight, kind of curvy line. And then almost like a U. It's like a V. It's like a V U. So it's not a full-on V, and it's not a full-on U. It's kind of like in between. It curves and stops, and curves and stops. Make sense? And then we have a little backward C there. I guess from your view, this is going to be like a upside down U, two of them. Or an upside down W then. Okay. And okay, now we can start on the ears again. I ran out of space. So we're going to pretend that, let's see, it's like the top of the eye. So it's be like right about there. I'm going to fold the paper because that's where this would normally be cut off. Pretty quick fold. So makes it kind of easier actually because now we can measure from the top too. Okay, again, measuring the distance between this eye and the ear. So I would just mark a line. You can do it really lightly with pencil or you can have marks, it's okay. We're just practicing. And then I'm going to make a straight line. Then I'm going to curve it down, up, down. You see that? Straightish line, curve it down, up, down. Sorry, I'm off a little bit. Okay, again, straight line starts to curve down, curve up, curve down. Okay, and then we just have this big, from my perspective, it's a backwards C. I guess from your perspective, that would be a backwards C, right outside. So it comes to this point and goes all the way up. So this is that point, and I'm drawing a backwards C all the way up. Now we have this ear over here, and again, it starts right at the top of that eye. I think it's just a U, or I mean a backwards C, or you know, it's a curvy line to get it. It does start outside of the face though. See, if I were to continue this face line, it would go through that ear. So I want to start my ear like out here. Okay. Then when I turn it regular, So it looks like this for you, right? Or no, I guess it looks like this for you, or even like that for you. And ta-da! Looks like a puppy. It's obviously not perfect, but it looks like a puppy. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, even if again, going back to this, like, what about proportions and stuff? Like, these eyes are way smaller than these eyes. And I like the look of this puppy better, right? So, and the way his body is sitting, he looks faster than normal there instead of just like a turd on a log. Even if I were to like draw it right side up, like this, you know, even if I were just to draw it like that, and I were to be like copying it without drawing what my eye sees, and just drawing like, oh, there's a curvy line there. Oh, there's an ear there, I should say. There's a head and an ear there. Some hair. My arms would be way down here. My foot would be way over here. My tail would be way longer. Other foot here. You know what I mean? So it just, following the exact lines that was a bad example kind of, but this is just a good warm up for you guys to try and practice with, what your eye can see. Because now if I want to, let's see, do I have a sticker on here? Oh, this is a good one too. This one kind of looks like, it could be a skull from that way, or it could be like a sad face or something. I can't tell what it's supposed to be. Either way, I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to do this whole thing all over again. Practicing that same thing. So, this guy right here. So, to me, it looks like an upside down U. And this one's easy because it's symmetrical. So, it's like upside down U. And then I'm going to draw the big one too, just so I know where everything is. What was that? And then a big U. And then it's like a nose. Okay, so this, you might not be able to see it too well, but it's like a little curve stop, a big curve stop, a little curve. So I'm going to do that. Pretty much where you're going to set a little bit below it. I can already tell this is way too low. So, little, big, little. And then these eyes, it's like two ovals. And they're outside of the nose, so oval. I mean, these nose parts way too big. And then it's like a teardrop shape here, and a teardrop shape here, and of course a little tear thing. Whatever that is. His chin or mouth or whatever that is. I think it's his face. I think that's a fat face. And then this is like his chin. And yeah, to look back, I'm like, I made that nose way too wide. So, but hopefully you get the idea of that. And the cool part too is now I have another page to color. So I would really love for you guys to be able to practice using this technique or this exercise, practicing your like line drawings, and then we can go back in and we can talk about color. Maybe we'll do that next class. That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that right now. Thinking. Anyways, shading and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stop this and then start again. But yeah, we can talk about shading and coloring in the right directions and that kind of thing. And so we can kind of practice from there. So we've already talked a lot about, we have talked about shading, like color blending. We've talked about, what's it called? Like cross hatching to shade, as well as like different scribble patterns that you can use, different techniques, stuff like that. So for example, I don't know if you guys would notice, like think about, again, use your own self. Like my chin, do you see the shadow around my chin? Well, the light is coming from like directly above me, but I don't want to get too far into it. But anyways, he would have a shadow right there because it's under his chin. So in the light, it's hard to explain. We're not going to go there today. Anyways, I just really hope that you got a good kick out of that at least, and just see what happens. It's really fun. This is something that I do myself as a painter. I challenge it a lot. Challenge my eye a lot, my eye and my mind. because like I'll take a picture of whoever it is, whatever it is that I'm drawing, and flip it upside down and paint it that way. And then either I keep it upside down, sometimes I can do that, or I flip it back and I'm like, see, it's this, you know. The children are here, so I should be going. Yeah, good job. Easy class, easy, quick class. I hope that was helpful. If you would like to go ahead and color those in now, you may, obviously. It's your art, so do whatever you want to do. Go with the godly flow, and I will catch you on the flippity flop. I'm probably going to go make another dance video or something right now, too, so see you in a minute. Bye.